Hi and welcome to January, a new Facebook Live, but this one I have pre-recorded. So happy New Year to everybody, and we're going to go through the topic of goal setting today, as is very apt. People do tend to set resolutions, New Year's resolutions at this time of the year, perhaps make changes, and you may have seen quite a lot of media posts and things about that type of thing. But it also does apply to our students as well, and we can help them with goal setting. So in general, goal setting can help with motivation. It can help with bringing a focus to new knowledge perhaps, or acquisition of knowledge, or indeed language. It can help you to organize your time and resources towards those goals. And once you've achieved those goals, we can see the success and recognize your ability and competence. Now that's a general kind of few notes about goal setting. And often, as I say, at this time of the year, we turn over a new leaf, and there could be various personal goals that we set. I want to give a bit of quick focus onto helping our students set language goals. So our learners might set goals in order to see and measure their own language progress. They might do it consciously or subconsciously in order to gain confidence with speaking or writing English, for example. Us as teachers often um, name and set a few goals or objectives for the course so that we can measure our students' progress and we can see that. It may be because you're wanting to measure it against the ability to take an exam, for example. So if they come to you wanting to take an exam and you want to try and measure when they'll be ready for that, setting some goals and closely following what they're doing and testing them or assessing them will help you decide if they're ready for the exam. Yes, we know that sometimes they want to do an exam because perhaps their embassy wants them to do it, they've got sponsorship, for example, they want to put it on their CV, or it is an exam that they take in order to enter university. So various ways for taking or reasons for taking exams. And sometimes, I'd say more often than not, it's hard for the learner to gauge how long it will take to get there, or how long will it take for them to be ready for the exam. Or they think they're ready at the moment, but actually it might be a bit challenging for them. So we're trying to help them do this to set them up so that they actually don't fail, that they do pass the exam that they wish to take. The last sort of reason for our students setting goals is it does provide a bit of framework and structure to the course. It may be that if you assess them at the beginning, that they are suitable or their level is okay for some areas of language and not for others. So that's where you can, it can help with your planning your syllabus and planning your actual individual lessons. So something I want to explain, and you may have already heard about this, is SMART goals. And each letter of the word SMART stands for a way of setting the goals. So S is for specific. So within the language context, that is setting something specific language-wise, or perhaps skills-wise, or pronunciation related. The M in the word SMART is measurable. If it is just to get better at hiking or better at jogging, then it's not so measurable. I need to find a way of quantifying that running. And it's the same with language. So it could be kind of time related and something that they're going to do every day that is related to language, or it could be a bigger sort of project, something like to write an email, for example. So something measurable where at certain stages you can look back and see if it's completed. The A in SMART is attainable. So is it something that they can actually do at some point, hopefully in the near future? Nothing that is not attainable, not achievable. So again, it might be that you as a teacher or the learner keep it quite small so that they can actually work towards and gain that particular goal, or it might be a set of smaller bite-sized goals towards something. But if we don't set it that it is attainable, then they're likely to lose motivation. The R in SMART is relevant. So in the world of our sort of language learners, it might be that they want to learn how to write an email because they work in a business context. That would be much more relatable and relevant than some medical vocabulary in English, for example. So make it relevant to their lifestyle, their job, or something that they're interested in, for example. And the T in SMART is time bound. So this is setting a time limit, because if we just said, I just want to start running, but we don't set when, it then is difficult to set the how. So with our language learners, let's say within 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, it may be that the actual exam date is the final time limit for certain goals. So something that follows those criteria: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. That makes up your acronym SMART. You could say something like to write an email for a job application by the end of February. You could break it down. This email consists of 3 paragraphs. You could break it down again with what language it might cover. You could break it down or alter it to be an email and a phone call, so there's a speaking element to it. So that could be a usable and smart objective for your learner. I think when we create these SMART goals, make them positive, write them down so that they're visible and therefore the learner is accountable. And as a teacher, you can have a catch up with the learner and say, where are they at with those goals? Or if they were broken down into smaller goals, where were they at, for example? The last couple of things I just want to say is thinking about breaking them down to make them achievable. If you think about it and what you're setting with the learner, if you look at course books and how those are set out in the course book, for example, it could be a bigger goal that is broken down into a number of smaller goals, and how we can set those out against a time frame. I think doing that, they become more achievable and doable, and also something that perhaps is they can do a little bit each day rather than 4 hours towards that goal, for example. So all those sort of things will help with the learner and their particular goals. So I hope that kind of helps. It's just some pointers of creating goals and how to make them SMART goals so that they are achievable and doable, and with a time limit. I think that also helps. So all of those things actually make the learner more accountable too. Just one last thing, I'm going to set up some courses. They're going to start in February. They are 4 weeks online courses. My first one is English Language Live, and that is a focus on English grammar, and we'll be going through lots of English grammar points and getting to know them a bit better, pulling them apart and analysing them, and also how you could lesson plan for them as well. So I will be promoting that, so do have a look at that, and it may be something of interest for you. And the other course I'm planning is Teaching Business English, something that I have done for most of my career in teaching, and again that will be a 4 weeks online. Details to follow, and I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you.